Today on Keep Shooting Mondays, what is this thing? Hey everyone, Greg Cazillo from Cazillo.com. Welcome to another episode of Keep Shooting Monday. Today we have our angle photo winners from our assignment put up 2 weeks ago. We have a new assignment coming up, which is a really fun one. And we're going to talk about gray cards, when to use them, also the Gray Tag Macbeth color checker chart that I showed you a second ago. But first, Cazillion questions. Question from Kevin Mack. Do white balance settings have a permanent effect in RAW mode, or is it similar to delighting and picture control settings where the in-camera processing is only performed against JPEGs? You are correct, Kevin. White balance is set only in the JPEGs. And what actually happens is your white balance, your the picture controls, all those things, they are applied to the preview image, the preview JPEG file that's built into the RAW file, but they're not actually added to the RAW file itself. Now, if you're using the Nikon picture control or another RAW processor that will edit those photos or can edit those photos, it can actually pull those original settings from that RAW file and then apply that to it so that you can export it as the camera saw it or with those picture controls, delighting, all that stuff. But Lightroom, Adobe Camera Raw, Aperture, all those other programs like that, they do not have that capability, which in my mind is not a problem. I don't care about that. I want to process the file from its original state and then get it to where I want it. Now, by the way, just so you know, I suggest not doing anything with picture control, except for maybe adding a little bit of sharpening to make it a little easier to see what's going on in the preview of your, in the back of the screen of the camera. Delighting, I don't use it. I never will use it. I'd rather adjust the image in post. Same with white balance. I prefer to use an auto white balance and then adjust it in post. Unless I'm shooting in the studio, then I will put it on the flash, and then once again, I'll adjust it in post. Lorenzo posted this photo up on Facebook and asked for a comment. Well, my first comment for Lorenzo on this one, which I actually already did, is the white balance seems a little bit off. This might be something that you get with time, and that's the experience and the know-how to see that color. 15 years ago, maybe it's a little longer than that, I actually worked in a camera store, and I did a lot of developing and printing, and so that's where I developed my eye for the color, to be able to see the right tones, whether there's too much cyan in an image, or blue, or green, or pink, or whatever, and to be able to get a good balance. That's going to come with time. But it's all going to start with a calibrated monitor since everything's digital now. So make sure that you're calibrating with a spider or I forget what the other ones are, like a color monkey. I think somebody makes a color monkey or something. Make sure you're calibrating. Then you can get a good tone. Make sure that you, play with that image a little bit. Play with that white balance setting. Like I said a minute ago, start off with auto when shooting in RAW and then adjust it a little bit and get it to where you want it. But this particular image needs to be a little bit warmer. It's just a touch too cold for my liking. Question from Chris. What do you think of back button focus? I've been doing it for about a year now, and it really seems to make a lot of sense. Your thoughts? Chris, I am not a fan of back button focus. The only thing that I use a back button focus for is when I'm shooting my videos, like this one today, because it's needed with the auto focus settings on the D3S. So when shooting a video, it's easier to go that way. But when I'm shooting, I just want to keep my thumb. I prefer to keep my thumb on the multi-selector in the back and my index finger up on the shutter button. That allows me to control the focus and then easily and quickly move the focus points. So that's one of the reasons that I don't use that back button focus. It's easier for me. It's quicker for me because I move my focus points around a lot. And so that's why I don't use it, and you might try it out that way. You might find that it's better for you too. That is called a Gray Tag Macbeth color checker chart. Now I use this, whoops, it fell. I use this when I'm shooting in the studio, when I'm doing a portrait, when I'm doing product photography, and it allows me to get nice, accurate color. When I'm shooting clothing, when I'm shooting anything that really is gonna, there goes something, require accurate color, I'm gonna use this color checker chart. Now, the piece that just dropped on the floor a second ago is actually just, hold on, let me get it, is actually just a little Kodak gray card. This little Kodak gray card actually came in an 8x10 sheet, and then I cut it down so that it fit in my camera bag, so I always have one with me if I need it. They're going to perform close to the same function. This one I can do a lot more with if I needed the additional colors or additional color reference. This one, for the most part, will give me at least get me close for probably 95% of the applications where I'm actually going to use this. Now, since I don't set my white balance in the camera, I don't bother with setting color, anything like that in the camera. I'm just going to shoot it on auto white balance and then adjust it in post. What I'm just going to do is use the eyedropper tool inside of Adobe Camera Raw or inside of Lightroom, and then I take a photo of this card in the picture like this. You go click, and then you would see this, and you take the little eyedropper, drop it in there, and there is your reference. And you apply that white balance setting to all the other photos in that series or the ones that you're using it for. Now, I really think that a lot of those little things that you stick on the end of your lens and the charts and the this and the that, I don't know what half the names are because I never really pay attention to them, that allow you to set a custom white balance are a waste of money, in my opinion. This is something that you can actually use, and it's the proper way to do it. But since you're shooting raw, why waste the time to set your white balance? So I never understood that. I never will understand it. Not a fan of buying those things. I think they're gimmicks, and never use them, basically, because I shoot raw, and you're able to set that white balance correctly later when a color calibrated screen on a big screen. Then you know that it's accurate and it's right. So when I am calibrating with the color checker chart, obviously with this one we only have one shade of gray across the whole thing. But with the color checker chart, I'm actually putting my eyedropper on the second gray right here, not the middle one or not the white, but on that one. And we can also give the full white, the full black, and there's a good range on there that I can utilize if I really needed it. If I really needed to color grade it or something like that, put it in Photoshop and get a really good accurate setting or a really good accurate color throughout the entire range. But for the most part, as far as the photography that I've done anywhere between product, clothing, modeling, that kind of thing, this just setting the white balance on that one gets me really, really close 99% of the time. So these charts go for I think about $60 or $70, something like that. You can get just these in an 8x10 or smaller sizes. I think they come in like little 4x5 sizes also for I think $10 or $15. They're actually pretty inexpensive. Buy an 8x10 sheet, cut it down, or just get the 4x5. Throw one in each of your camera bags so that you have one, and then you'll always have something. Again, just shoot one as a reference. Each time the light changes, shoot another one as a reference, and you're done. Then you'll know that your white balance is accurate. So, color checker chart, Kodak gray card, reference thing. Thanks. I forget what it's really called. This week's Keep Shooting photo assignment is going to be a smartphone or cell phone self-portrait. I think I might get some flack for this one, but I don't care. I just wanted to do something different. And I don't want to give anyone a leg up. I just want to really kind of go back to the basics. I want you to think about your composition. I want you to think about your lighting. I want you to look at the background. So they're all parts of the image, the angle, all those things, part of that self-portrait, all right? Got to be a photo of yourself. Has to be taken with your cell phone. Could be your iPhone, could be your dumb phone. It could be any Android phone. Whatever cell phone you have, you can use it for this assignment. But you cannot use your DSLR for this, All right, has to be done with your cell phone. Now, the reason for this is because of these couple of photos that Kim actually took for herself. Thank you, Kim.
You're welcome.
For the idea for this. She's taken such really great photos over the last few months since she was diagnosed with cancer, and actually in the past too before she was diagnosed. But some of the stuff that she's been taking is just really, really good. And I'm just looking at it, I'm like, wow, that's so cool. So that is the idea for this one. Cell phone self-portrait. You're allowed to crop a photo in camera. Any of the, I want to say, default apps that are on the phone you can use. And you know what? If you really had to use a filter, one of those filter apps to make it a little bit better, Kim actually has them set up on her phone already. I forget what phone. What phone do you have again?
Thunderbolt.
Yeah, the Thunderbolt. So she already has some of those filters already built in. So that means that she kind of has a leg up there. So go ahead, filter it, crop it if you really needed to. But let's get some really good self-portraits. Oh, and by the way, she has this cool little case that has a little kickstand thing built into it. So she really has a leg up. But, you know, make it happen, make it work. That is our assignment. Post them over to the forum. You have until next Friday, I don't know what the date is, at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to post those photos over to the forum. I will put a link over to that forum post that I'll start. And by the way, what was the date?
The 8th.
The 8th, February 8th. That's next Friday. Two Fridays.
15th.
The 15th, all right. Friday, February 15th to get those photos posted up on the forum. You have some time. Again, concentrate on your light, your angle, your subject, your clothing. All that stuff makes a difference, all right? So, yeah, should be a fun one, and let's try it out. So next, let's go over our winners from the angle assignment. Thanks, Kim.
You're welcome.
This week's Keep Shooting photo assignment winners, I have to say it, Craig, you're a two-timer. You got third place again this week. Actually, you got second place last week. You got third place this week. Such a cool photo. I love the low angle, thinking outside of the box. You got the choose the right lens. You got underneath the table, which maybe people don't realize what this is without actually looking at it and studying it for a while. I love the blue sky. The table has that kind of weird glass thing that kind of messes with the tree branches and stuff above it. Really, really cool. The only thing that would make this any better is if you had a really hot model in a bathing suit sitting there in one of the chairs. But anyway, really cool photo. Love it. Different angle. That one is number 3. Thanks, Craig. Next one, number 2, is from Laurie. Laurie, this is a really cool photo. You could have submitted a couple weeks ago to the foreground, middle ground, background. But you know what? It still works for angle. Because if you would have stood up really high or at a normal angle, it would not have worked. You wouldn't have these really awesome lines that are coming in from the bottom right-hand corner, bringing your eyes right back into the sunset area or the skyline there, and kind of bringing you right back. So awesome photo. Thank you very much, Lori, for the submission. That one is number 2. Number 1 from Mark. This is awesome. Love this photo. These photos, he actually shot a bunch of them. If you go on to his Flickr, there's I think 5 or 6 of them that he posted. And he shot them in Korea. I forget which Korea it was, south or north, I don't know. Doesn't matter. He's got a series of a bunch of these photos. Really cool, all showing the moon. The nice thing about these, though, is that these photos would stand on their own with or without the moon. But with it, it makes it even better. So love the angle, love the processing, the color, the nice brown tone. It's just enough, you know. Then you got this really huge moon that really stands out, real strong. The spire that's sticking up there, right in between. I'm guessing it's a bridge there. Awesome angle, good lens choice, the whole 9 yards. Really works. Also love the vertical of this. If he'd have shot this in a horizontal, I don't think it would have been anywhere near as strong. So thank you very much, everyone, for your submissions. Like I said, you have 2 weeks to post that. We said it was February, what again?
15.
February 15th for your next photo submission, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Get them up on the forum by then, and I will choose them for the next top 3 for the Keep Shooting photo assignment. Questions, comments, concerns, I'd love to hear them. Greg Cazillo, Cazillo.com. Thanks, guys. Keep shooting. See you.